Today we're going to be talking about business bank accounts, what they are, why you need them, and why this could be one of the most important decisions that you make as an online entrepreneur. You ready? Well, let's do this. Hey gang, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Jim. I am an online business lawyer and YouTube entrepreneur, and on this channel I help you to learn how to start, build, grow, and of course legally protect your own online creative business so that you can enjoy freedom of time, freedom of money, and of course freedom to work where you want and when you want. So today we're talking about business bank accounts, and for most of you out there, you're probably working as an online entrepreneur, but you're really working as a sole proprietor. And what that means is that you haven't taken the steps necessary to set up a formal legal entity for your business. But that's really irrelevant to what we're talking about today, because you could be a solopreneur or you could own an LLC, and in both situations you really need to have a business bank account. And the reason why this is so important is because by having a business bank account, you're going to, number one, help to protect your personal assets. Number two, you're going to save money on taxes at the end of the year. And number three, you're going to start the process of getting your business legally protected so that you don't have to worry, stay up late at night thinking about, somebody coming and taking your business. Now, what most of you are probably doing is, when you're just getting started with an online business, is you're running your business through your personal checking account. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about, or if maybe you can relate to what I'm saying right now. You know who you are. And there's two main problems with running your business that way. Number one, you are probably paying more on taxes than you really should be, because all your business expenses and your personal income and your business income and your business expenses are all being meshed together. And that's the second problem, is you're commingling all this stuff. And by commingling all this stuff, you're just making it more difficult for you to sift out what are business expenses and what are personal expenses when it comes time to do your taxes at the end of the year. So if that sounds like you, my recommendation for you today is that you really need to go out and get a business bank account. Now, to get a business bank account, a lot of people will, if you're just starting out and you're a sole proprietor, you can use your social security number to do that. But I do not recommend using your social security number to get a business bank account, because then basically you're setting up a bank account in your personal name, and it's really just another personal checking account, just like your regular personal checking account. Now, maybe you have another one, you have a different one, but at the same time, it's really the same. And so even though it's a separate account, it's really not the right way to do it. So what I would recommend doing is, if you're still operating as a sole proprietor and that's the way you want to continue operating, I don't necessarily recommend that. There's other videos I've done on the channel that talk about why you need to set up an LLC. But if you are operating as a sole proprietor, you can still go to the IRS website and get what's called an EIN, or an employer identification number. And then you can use that employer identification number assigned to you as a sole proprietor of your business to set up a business bank account. So that would be the first way to do it. And that's the easiest way to set up a business bank account if you're still operating as a sole proprietor. Now, if you are an LLC, you're going to follow some of my videos where I talk about how to set up your LLC. And then once you get all your documentation back from the Secretary of State's office, at that point, then you're going to go ahead and you're going to apply for an EIN number for the LLC entity. And with that EIN number, now you can go to your bank and you can set up your business bank account. And by setting up a separate business bank account for your online business, what you're doing is you are, number one, going to help yourself save some money on taxes. And this is because you're not commingling your business expenses with your personal expenses. That is a big no-no. Not only is it going to be harder for you to sift through all those expenses at the end of the year when it's time to do your taxes, but also if for some reason the IRS comes in, they want to take a look at what you're doing, maybe they want to audit your business bank account, then they're basically looking at your personal account and they're going to kind of wonder, they've got to now sift through all these things, and that can cause you a lot of time and trouble and headache if you ever were to get audited by the IRS. In addition, having a business bank account is just going to make you look more credible, because I know a lot of you probably are not taking checks anymore, but for those of you who do take checks from customers or clients, they're going to be writing the check out to your name personally. And a lot of times customers want to know, okay, what's the business entity that I'm writing the check out to? And if you are running the business through your personal checking account, they have to make the check out to you personally as opposed to the name of your business. And so that just is going to kind of look a little fishy to customers and clients that you might be working with. The next major issue that you need to be aware of when it comes to this is payroll. At some point, you're probably going to want to hire employees or even contractors, and you might need payroll to come out of your business bank account. Now, you definitely don't want payroll coming out of your personal checking account. If you think about it, it just doesn't make sense, because if you're running payroll and you have to pay yourself, and it's coming out of your personal checking account and going right back into your personal checking account, that doesn't make any sense. And you also don't want large payroll amounts coming out of your personal checking account either. So you definitely need a business bank account when you're ready to set up payroll. And then the last major reason for why you need to get a business bank account are just for the liability reasons that come with it. And by liability, what I mean is if a creditor was to ever sue you for, breach of contract, or because they got damaged because of something that you did or work you did for them, then they are going to they're going to go after your personal checking account, but then they're going to be able to go after all your other personal assets as well. So by commingling those assets, it's a way for a creditor to what's called breach the corporate veil. And so now they can go after all your other personal assets in addition to only the business assets, if that were to ever happen. And hopefully it won't ever happen to you, but if it did, that could be a big problem. So let me just tell you, once you have that business bank account set up, and it's a pretty easy thing to do, you're going to be able to sleep so much better at night knowing that you've got this one piece of the puzzle that is working right for your business. There's so many other things that we can worry about in business. Don't let having your business assets commingled with your personal assets be one of those things that you're worrying about. That's what I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching, folks. If you'd like to see more about business bank accounts, I'm going to do a video right here next week that's going to talk about the various business bank accounts that I would recommend for you. Enjoy that video. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much.